What is the first setting you need to check when you get your new Switch Lite or your new Switch console in general? Well, that's going to be checking to make sure that it is set as your primary console. Welcome to Dumo Plays. In this video, I'm going to explain to you the importance of setting the primary console, and I'm going to show you how you can do that. But just so I don't waste anyone's time, if you only have one Switch, it's already set. It's automatic. This is just if you have two Switches. So basically, if you have a Switch that you play docked and one you travel with, the travel Switch you really need to have set as your primary system. So let's start with why this matters and which one should be the primary console. So I have right here the new Switch with the longer lasting battery life, and I have my original Switch, which is docked at the moment. Now, when I go to work, I play on the bus. I obviously want to take the new Switch. Since it has the longer lasting battery life, it just makes more sense to use that one. So I get on the bus and I decide, let's play some Monster Hunter. So I click on it to load it up and I get met with this screen. So whenever you go to play digital media on your Switch, whichever one that isn't primary, it's going to check to make sure that the primary console, or no other console anyways, is playing digital media at that point in time. This is a very short check. It's almost not even really noticeable unless you don't have the internet, which on the bus I did not. So I got met with this screen, unable to connect to the internet via wired connection. Because you can't connect to the internet, it can't check to make sure that the media isn't being played elsewhere, therefore it will not let you play. Now, in order to get around this, I tethered it to my phone. I checked. It was a very short maybe 3-second check. And then I was able to play, but it's still a nuisance, and it's something that I thought was ridiculous. I shouldn't have to tether to my phone to play my game. Well, that's because this was not the primary console, and I have to set that in order to get rid of this. Now, the other issue that you're going to run into is this screen. Play is being suspended. Basically, what happens is if you are playing on your non-primary system and, say, someone at home logs into the primary system, it will bump you off. For me, that means that I can't play Monster Hunter and Splatoon at the same time. As soon as the primary console connects to the internet in a digital game, it kicks the non-primary console off. So the sensible thing that we want to do is set whichever console that we're going to be traveling with as the primary console. That way there, you don't have to check the internet to play your downloaded games. That way there, if you're playing, other people can play. Like if you're offline, your primary system won't connect online to check, so someone at home can play a game and be online. It's not going to cause any problems. So to do that, we're going to have to jump into the eShop, so I'll see you in there. All right, so now that we're in the eShop, let's take a look at this top page. Right above me in the top corner, you're going to notice the little icon. You want to move over to that, and you want to select this. It's going to bring you into the area where it controls your account. You're going to have a lot of information there. All right, so from this screen, we want to move over one and scroll all the way down. Now that we're all the way down, as you can see, primary console, a different console is registered as your primary console. So for today, I'm going to mess up my whole system, and I'm going to switch them back. So what I have to do is get over onto the primary console and deregister that as my primary console. All right, so now I'm over on the primary console, and you can see right above me this nice big orange button that says to deregister. This console is the primary console, and I'm going to remove that. So, are you sure you want to? Yes, I do. Now, we're going to have to go back in and log back in order to actually finish deregistering this. So this is still the primary console. We have to go back into it to finish deregistering. So I'm going to put in my password, and I'll see you over there. Now that we're back in, we've put in our password, this screen pops up. The console has been deregistered. The next console will become the primary console. So I'm going to hit OK. We're going to go back into this screen. Now we can turn off this console, and we can get the non-primary console out and turn that into the primary. Now that we're in as the console we want as the primary console, let's go take a look and see if it worked. Back on this screen, we're going to scroll all the way down. This console is registered as your primary console. It is that simple. Now, one more thing we want to do is we want to check out the re-downloaded section over there, because I think this one's going to be fun for you guys. When we go over to it, you can see all the stuff that you've purchased and downloaded, and this is going to be the quickest way to get it onto your new system. I've seen people struggling looking through the eShop for their game to re-download it. Just do it right here. Now, one last little tidbit about doing this and jumping back and forth. I generally play Monster Hunter on my travel console. I'll dock it whenever I have to. But in order to jump back and forth, you have to change to where the save file is. So what you do is you go over to it, you hit your plus button, and down here you see Save Cloud Data. There's a newer backup available. We're going to select that. We're going to download the save data. It won't take you long, but then when you have it done, you'll have your proper save data there. Just make sure you don't back up something you don't want, because you don't want to replace things. I would highly recommend changing which system you're playing each game on with your backups as few times as possible, just to save on any issues of you erasing your save data. Okay, so there are games like Pokemon, like Splatoon, that don't have cloud saves. If they don't have cloud saves, it's not quite as easy to transfer over. I have personally never tried to transfer it, just because I like having the two different save files. So let's focus in on Splatoon, because there's a little bit more going on with that. When you play Splatoon 2 on the new console, it's going to start a new game, a completely new file. You're going to start from the tutorial until you get to Inkopolis Square. Your phone app is actually going to switch over to the stats from the new game. All your turf, your last games played, everything on the phone app switches over to this game. Now, don't worry, your original game is completely fine. In fact, if you put your original game back in, even if it's not your primary console anymore, once you load it up, the phone app is going to switch back to the original game's save data, and you're going to be able to get all those stats back, and everything's going to get back like that. It's going to work completely fine. And that's going to end it for today. I hope this helps you guys out. It's really important if you have two systems to set which one you want as the primary, and it's going to want to be the one you travel with. Otherwise, you're going to have an internet connection to play anything downloaded. Physical media is completely fine. Don't worry about it. Your save files are going to be fine. You might have to juggle back and forth on cloud saves if that's the case. Without cloud saves, you actually get a second playthrough for free. So it's almost like having the game twice. So anyways, again, I really hope that helps. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and hopefully I'll see you again really soon. Alrighty. Bye.